Okay, we are going through different fields of engineering, and this chart shows some of the common fields. The main ones are the ones which we have in UOB. Then we have others which are also part of engineering, but we don't have them. Okay. Now we move towards. So we have used this term earlier as well, that engineers and scientists have to follow a method, right? Okay. So what is a scientific method? First of all, you have to formulate a hypothesis, meaning you have to make an assumption. The first point means make an assumption. Okay, so you see light somewhere. Okay, somebody gave the code, right? To BSI you have to burn, right? Okay, so I see a light somewhere. I can make an assumption, maybe something is burning. Okay, the first thing is you make a hypothesis. Hypothesis meaning you make an assumption. Assumption about what? Something which is already happening. Okay, a natural phenomena. Like I give the phenomena of light. So I see light. My assumption could be something is burning. Okay. Then you do experiments to prove or disprove your assumption. Okay. If something is burning, then I should have some heat as well, right? I can check the temperature. And so on and so forth. Okay. If something is burning, then there must be some material which is consumed. Fire consumes material, right? So you can check if there is some consumption of resources or not. Okay, so you do experiments which will either prove your assumption correct or incorrect. Okay, the second step is do the experiments to prove your assumption. Assumption, I told you, the word they are using for assumption is hypothesis. Okay, hypothesis is sometimes we call it an assumption, or it's a claim. I am claiming this thing is happening. I have to prove it. Okay, and then you do the experiments which will prove your assumption. Then you test the results of the experiment. Okay, whether they are going with your assumption or against your assumption. Okay, I don't see. I collected temperature. It could be going up, or it could be going down, or it could be constant. If it is going up, it is with my assumption, right? If it is going down, it is against my assumption. If it is constant, same thing. Okay. So now I have to test. I have to analyze the data I have collected, and then you try to generalize your claim. Okay. Generalize meaning what? It is happening now. Does it happen every time? Okay. So every time I see light, so for example, I prove my assumption. There was light and there was fire. Okay, I did the experiment, collected data. The data proves yes, it is correct. Is it only correct for now, or every time there is light, there is fire? Okay, so this is called as generalization of the assumption. Okay. The 4 steps of scientific method: you make an assumption or claim, you collect data which can prove your assumption, you analyze the data to come to the result. Once you have the result, then you see is the result applicable to everywhere or just this case. Got it? Okay. So for example, applying to the civil engineering, you see a crack in the wall. Okay. A crack could mean multiple things, right? It could be a problem with the material, it could be a problem with the temperature, and so on. So you collect data, so you make a claim. Okay, it could be because of too high temperature. Then you collect data which can prove your assumption. Okay, the effect of temperature on the material. Then you analyze and you find yes, the crack is because of temperature. Is it only here? So whenever I see this much temperature, there will be a crack. This is called generalization. Okay. So this is part of the scientific method, and once you reach the conclusion, you convey it to the community. Okay. To other people who are in the same field, you communicate it to them. So you see the things which are written in the books, right? Okay. So somebody found them and they wrote it, and now you are taking the advantage. Okay, so how the society looks at the engineers. Okay, uh, so engineers are obviously, they are working for the society, right? So society pays them. It could be one individual, it could be government, it could be an organization, and so on and so forth. Okay, what are they giving back? They are solving the problems of the society. So engineers are those people which are hired to solve the specific problems of the society. Okay, so the systems which the engineers follow to provide the solutions, they can be under these three categories. Okay, the systems which engineers provide to the society as a solution to their problem can be under three categories. The first one is systems for uh, handling of material, or systems which can handle the material, produce the material, or develop the material. Systems which deal with the materials. Okay. The first type of systems are systems which deal with the materials. So concrete mixer, it's a system, right? It deals with the material. The material is concrete. And then you have the cement plant. It's also a system. It also deals with material. But the concrete mixer only mixes. The cement plant produces. Okay? And then we have the systems or equipment which can extract the materials, right? Okay? For example, systems which are used for oil drilling. Okay? So they extract the material. And there are some systems which transform the material. Okay? So we have crushers, big crushers. You put big rocks into them and crushes them into smaller pieces. Okay? So these systems could be producing the material, transforming the material, or mixing them. Okay, then there are systems which handle energy. Okay, so like this. The lights and the fans and these things. Okay, your refrigerator, your cooler, and all these things are handling energy. Okay, the systems handling energy, and it can be controlling the energy, like you control the energy of the, or the temperature of your fridge or your AC. It could be transforming the energy. Okay, and it could be transmitting the energy, like the cables we have. Cables are transmitting the energy, right? Okay, and then we have systems which are used for data handling. Okay, systems which are used for handling the data. Okay, so this thing, sending the data, right? Okay, there is no material coming out of it. If there is, then a problem, right? I will take it to the shop. Okay, your phones handling data. Okay, so as civil engineers, we deal with all of them. Material, I already gave the example, right? Okay, and energy, it's very common. The lights and the fridge, and you cannot live without it. Okay, and data is becoming more and more important for us as well. Although our work happens in the field, but the data handling is now becoming a big part of it. Every company has, or every organization has their resources which are fixed for data handling. Okay. Okay. From these all different types of engineers, now we come towards the definition of the civil engineer. Okay. Let's take 1 minute to go through it. What does it say? Okay. Read it? Okay. The civil engineers do what? you give me one word for it? Design? Yes. Construction? Yes. Design, basically construction. Okay. Maintenance? Yes, it's also part of it. Okay. But the main thing which I want to focus on is infrastructure means what? In Arabic? Did everybody listen to them? So, if I try to say it, I will say it wrong. People cannot understand infrastructure, they will not understand my Arabic as well. So, okay, do you know why we are called as civil engineers? Okay, the term civil engineer is given because of this. Okay, and believe it or not, it started from military. Okay, the work which we do now, in the olden days, the army used to do it. Okay, so obviously they were handling their own jobs and their own construction and everything. They still do. Okay, they still do. They do the construction for their own work. They do it themselves. Okay, but since they had the resources, they used to do it for the public as well. Okay, and they used to call it civil works. Okay, then they said it's too much. We will do our own job. We have wars to fight. Okay, so then we have a separate discipline which handles with the infrastructure. So they were doing it earlier. They were handling. They called it the infrastructure. Okay, because they also needed it, right? Those people also needed the infrastructure more than us. It was very critical for them. So they used to do it, and then they gave the job to the civil engineers. Also, civil engineering got separated from them, and we still have the name civil. So civil, because those works which they were doing were called civil works, and they were mainly dealing with infrastructure. Okay, anything physical which you need to operate in your life. Okay, that is infrastructure, and you can see the examples on the top. Okay, roads, buildings, and so on and so forth. And this definition is given by ASCE. Okay, American Society of Civil Engineers. Okay, so some of the things which you have already mentioned: planning is there. Yes, planning, design, construction, and maintenance. It's all part of civil engineering, and operation as well. Okay, I have colleagues who are working in banks and hospitals. So obviously they are not doing any construction there. They are mainly involved in these two things: operation and maintenance. Okay. Yeah. Okay, some of the scope of work, some of the areas in which civil engineers normally work. Okay, job opportunities, you can say, or your career paths. Some of you mentioned, I want to go in a structural engineering or something. These are the different paths which you can have. There can be more as well, but these are some of them. Okay, so you can deal with the structures, design analysis of structures. Okay, and these structures can be buildings or oil rigs or airports, bridges, whatever. Then you can deal with foundations. Okay, so foundation is where? Over the structure, under the structure. Under the structure. Okay, so it's a separate field because now there are many types of foundations available. Okay, materials. You can specialize in materials. And what else? Transportation systems. Bridges, highways, airports, ports, and these things. Water distribution systems, pipelines, water treatment systems, and so on. Safety management, basically This one is related to construction management. So there are managers which only handle the construction process. Okay, so this is another field now, and construction and project management for large projects. So every project has a construction manager, but then there are large projects, for example, Burj Khalifa, okay, or the NEOM project. Okay, so any construction manager cannot handle it. Okay, you need specialized people who can handle people from different specialization, different countries, and so on. Okay, so the last 2 points are both of them related to construction management. Okay, so there is general and there is specialized. Okay, clear? Any questions? Abdul Rahman, right? Banin Abbas, Fatma Ibrahim, Hissa Ghanem, Muhammad Zuhair, Rayan Jasim. Okay, thank you. Yes. The quiz does not include these slides. I already told you there are 3 extra slides in extra reading material. The quiz includes 2 of them. These slides which we are covering, they are from the regular slides. They are not in the quiz. But the topic is same. Topic is same. Hmm.